Good afternoon, friends. Wonderful to be here. And after such inspiring talk by Deepa ma'am, Alakananda ma'am, Iram ma'am, the nexus is broken. The ladies have done their bit. I'm here now. Well, I am Parvez Arshad Hussain. I come from Assam, and I'm going to take you through my journey of being a tea planter for the last 30 years and now trying to get into a different role. And this is a life which is continuing. Just a brief about my background. I grew up in Dibrugarh, the land of tea again, and that's where I did my studies. My father was a doctor. He was the head of the Department of Biochemistry in Assam Medical College. I grew up in a campus there, beautiful life, lots of friends, music, sports, the works. I've got an elder brother who's now with the government of Assam, working there as the joint secretary of the tourism department. And I've got an elder sister who's a teacher in a very reputed school in Guwahati. And I'm here in West Bengal. And I'm the farmer in the family, and I've been doing tea for over 30 years, as I said. Life took a little bit of a turn for me when I lost my mother when I was just 14. That was something very difficult for me as a young 14-year-old to cope up. But life has its way of showing you how to go about it. I passed my class 10, and then I was sent over to Jorhat, which is a town very close to Dibrugarh, to stay with my sister and brother-in-law, who were obviously the guardians at that point of time. And I shifted there and I pursued humanities. There was something which I loved always. I loved reading books. I used to read quite a lot. And that is when I pursued my bachelor degree in nothing else but English literature. I made friends with people like William Wordsworth, P.B. Shelley, John Keats. These were my friends because I read quite a lot. And I used to love them. Music was there always at the back of my mind. I used to play, I used to perform from a very young age. So life was good. I did my 2 years degree course. Well, we were the last batch of students to have done a 2-year degree course. After that, nowadays, guys, you do a 3-year degree course, I believe. So life was good. And that is when I, again, wanted to pursue it. So I came over back to Dibrugarh to do my master's degree, also definitely in English literature. And a time got in that when I finished off my master degree, I didn't want to study anymore. Shouldn't be saying that at an engineering institute though. But I wanted to do something different, and that's when I got this opportunity, or maybe had an advertisement about a job in a tea industry. I had seen the tea industry up close in a sense. I grew up in Dibrugarh, as I say, the land of tea, and there was tea all around me, not really getting into where it was, but seeing it from a distance, and definitely visiting some of the tea estates, but as a child, not really knowing what was going on inside. I landed up at my first job in a garden there in Assam called Hanwal Tea Estate. I got into a very nice and a big company called Williamson Mager. Well, a guy who did English literature all his life is now going into the plant kingdom, not knowing anything about it. Well, it was a challenge, but it was quite inspiring for me because certain incidents happened there. Because it is an industry, as you know, it's motivated with workers. It's a labor-intensive industry. Everything is done by people, and you have to understand people's emotion. And that is something which really hit me. And basically, I fell in love with what I was doing. I became responsible overnight when a person who was as old as my dad came over asking me for a piece of advice. And here I was, all of 23, not knowing what was happening, and I have to give him an advice. I was, hello, how do I do this? I was at a fix, but I went and I took some advice from my seniors, basically to ask them that, how do I go about it? And they gave me some examples, not really solving my problem, making it sure that I pull up my socks and I put on my thinking cap and talk about it. The next day morning I came in and I gave him the solution. It was something to do with a labor quarter repair and things like that. He seemed happy about the solution which I gave, and he went out a happy man. And in the tea garden, news can move very fast, and within no time I knew there was a murmur going on, and they said, hey, the new kid in the block is not bad. He can solve problems for you. I felt very motivated because the stuff it made me grow overnight. And I knew that I was doing something for the people there. That inspired me a lot. And then after being there, making one of the best teas there, Assam tea, as you know, is world famous. It's that nice so-called our masala kadak chai. And then I get a transfer to, well, hold your breath, the Queen of Hills, Darjeeling. My manager calls me over, and then he tells me, he said, hey, Parvez, you are leaving us and you are going to Darjeeling. I said, wow, because I knew that Darjeeling tea has been so famously known worldwide as the champagne of teas. And here I am in Darjeeling in a garden called Soom Tea Estate. A small thing I'd like to share. The first day, I had never come to this part of West Bengal ever. I'd been to Calcutta, but I've never come to Siliguri, leave alone Darjeeling. My driver was there to get me there. He took me from the airport all the way to the garden. And once I reached the garden, I saw there were teas planted on the hills. I come from the plains where the tea is all grown in the plains. And here I see the mountains and it's all tea bushes all around. We reached in quite late at night. And I asked him, I said, hey, how do you guys do it? How do you climb up and pluck the teas there? He gave me a beautiful one-liner and he said, "Tabai to birsinu bhayo hola, aile purai thaknu bhako cha hola. So tabai basnuhoस् aile, boli bihaन sabai थाहा हुन्छ." Well, he told me in Nepali, I didn't know a word. Well, now I can speak in language, the Nepali language. I can sing in Nepali. I can read, I can write. Well, it's all about this job because you see, it gets you into something because you are talking with human emotions. And the next day morning, obviously, I was trying to get my route from where I came in from because everything looked same. All the mountains everywhere around, and I didn't know from where I dropped down to that beautiful garden called Soom. I had very amazing seniors who were there with me, but mostly I'd like to give the credit to my staff members, my munshis, my chaprasis, and my sardars. These are the people who held my hand and taught me what this job is all about. These guys taught me how to do pruning. These guys literally told me how to do plucking. And also in the factory, I literally slept at the withering trough at night to understand what is withering, one of the process in the manufacturing process. Life has been good in a way that I'm taking a cue out of Olokananda ma'am today. That always pursue a dream, go ahead, because the moment you try and think something negative in your mind, it might just about not work for you. Just go for it, and as they say, kill it. I just want to do that. I just love what I do. And that's when I got exposed to making one of the best teas in the world. Darjeeling tea, as you know, is known as the champagne of teas. And I'm privileged to have worked in that industry for the last 26 years. I came to Darjeeling in 1992, and until last year, August, I was posted as a manager in a very reputed garden. And then I took a call. I said, it's time now that I start doing something for myself and also try and give something back to the society. Try and do something, because during my journey there, what I did was I got involved with a lot of NGOs there so that I could do a lot of work for the upliftment of the women. The women in the tea estate, they are the backbones. Today, if you see any tea estate all around the world, it's the women who are the backbone of the entire industry. So they have been there, their children. There are certain people in some of the gardens where they have not come up beyond Darjeeling. They have not even seen Siliguri forget about anything else. So they are very simple people, and with the help of certain NGOs, I got to work with them. I did a lot of training in different types of things, basically on APA, which is Appreciatory Participatory Planning and Action, on awareness about HIV/AIDS, working with self-help group, and also my quest towards learning organic farming. I got into a group and I was exposed to organic farming, which was being with nature and being part of it. It's so beautiful when you can give something to the nature. I'm blessed to have worked with a consultant from Colombia. She's a lady who has done a lot in this field of the plant kingdom. And she always used to tell me one thing: if you ever have a problem, go to the forest. In the forest, nobody goes to water the plants, right? But they are in such a beautiful ecological balance that they complement each other. The moment we as human beings sort of interfere, that's where the problem arises. So go to the forest, and rightly so, I did find my footing there. I learned about organic farming, not only organic farming, also biodynamic farming, which is a holistic approach towards organic farming. Then I did something about permaculture, which is taking two words together: permanent agriculture, taking perma from there, and from agriculture taking in culture. Permaculture, which I learned in. And then also I was exposed to another sort of organic farming, working with EM technology, which is about with effective microorganism. I did a lot of vermicompost, which is again with earthworms. So the horizon is so big, you can just about only imagine and keep on doing, and just love Mother Earth. That is what I did. At that same point of time, my background of being an artist, of maybe being a musician, maybe doing literature and things like that, will have to come in handy someday, right? So that's when I started creating some beautiful teas or specialty teas, well, which I love to call them my designer teas. And I did that. I made a lot of teas, called them amazing names: Dragon Claws. I call them moonshine. I call them moondrops. Everything. I made a tea once for Harrods, and it was a white tea which I made. And I believe that I wanted to put in a story. I called it a twister. And it just had all the words, did say something about the tea. It meant tea with innovative style and texture, exotic and rare. So that's what I did. I put the words again together because I had done English literature. It should come in handy someday, right? So that is where I put it in. Although it's different when you work with a system, there are ups and downs. There are days, there are high days, there are low days. There are days when you do very well, when your tea comes out absolutely perfect. There are days when your bosses are not pleased with you and things like that. This is all part of life. Guys, take it in that stride, and that is how things are going to work, and that is how it is all about. Now, when doing all these things, I again got an opportunity to go all the way from here to our friendly neighbor, China. That's from, as you know, that's from where tea originated. And in a way, I feel very blessed to have worked in these three places where the most famous teas come from. Obviously, Darjeeling, the champagne of teas. Then Assam tea, which is well known worldwide. And then, of course, China, the origin of tea, where they make some amazing green teas. I was privileged enough to stay with some small farmers there, trying to learn about how they do things, how innovative they have been over the years. And in a way, until maybe I think 2.5 decades back, we were the highest producer of tea in India. But now they have taken over. They are first in everything now. They are the highest populated country also, and they are also the highest producer of tea in the world today. But life has been amazing. I can see a lot of youngsters around here, just want to inspire you that It's not necessarily, although it's a science, it's not necessarily that you have to be a science graduate to be into tea, although there is a lot of science involved in it. It's your passion which takes you there, and also just to do something new. And that is what I have done. I've just listened to my heart, and I've just gone on. For me, where I was always in the field, either playing cricket or taking my guitar and playing a song there, I thought maybe do something which would exactly change things all around. And that's when I indulged myself to do something. I just basically want to tell you guys around here that you can do everything you want. People do talk about it, that this is a job which can be a little boring because you are secluded inside in a tea estate. Well, just go by your dreams. Read a book. That's what happened because I did English literature. Pick up the guitar, play a song, take out your keyboard, do something like that, and life is all good. Another thing which I felt was you learn different languages. As I said, when I came in here, I didn't know a word of Nepali, and now I can give a speech in Nepali. I knew very little Bengali because Assamese is very similar to Bengali, the dialect is same. এখানে আসার পরে ওটাও শিখে গেছি, একটু বাংলাও বলতে পারি। Hindi is our national language, so Hindi तो बोल ही लेती हूँ, Hindi picture जब देखती हूँ तब तो बोल ही लेती हूँ. And also Nepali, if there are few Nepali guys around, कस्तो हुनुहुन्छ? राम्रो छ सबैजना? राम्रो छ. Nice to feel that vibe from you guys. It's just that, just go with your passion, go with what you feel good, and as I say, the sky is the limit. Try and make this world into a better place. And this is when some of the children came over and I did some training with them, uplifting the workers and things like that. This is with some of my friends. And this is when I was very fortunate to have the governor of West Bengal. He had come over to my place and I was showing him some teas. That was one of those incidents there. And well, this is part of me when I just love to strum around and just play a little bit of song. And that is what it is. And well, last but not the least, go and chase your dreams. And that's what I did. And that's, there I am. And it's been lovely getting a platform like that. Thanks to all you guys who have done a wonderful job, and very privileged to be with such elite company today. Thank you so much. That's been my time.